Hey everyone, welcome to SEL. We are going to start today by playing our game of My Turn, Your Turn. And remember our new rule. If I say my turn, touch your ears, don't do it. It's a trick. Touch your elbows. All right, here we go. My turn, touch your head. Your turn. My turn, touch your nose. Your turn. My turn, touch your ears. Your turn. You should be touching your elbows. Did I trick you? My turn, touch your chin. Your turn. My turn, touch your elbows. Your turn. My turn, touch your ears. Your turn. Should be touching your elbows again. My turn, touch your cheeks. Your turn. My turn, touch your shoulders. Your turn. My turn, touch your ears. Your turn. I think you guys are probably starting to get it by now. We've played this game a few times. All right, so last week we learned that when friends play in fair ways, they both have fun. And Snail and Puppy were having a problem deciding where to play. Puppy wanted to play outside, and Snail wanted to play inside. And if you remember, they were kind of having a disagreement, a little bit of an argument. And they listened to our lesson last week, and today we're going to find out what happened. Well, we talked about it. I told Snail that I really wanted to play with him. I'd be lonely playing outside all by myself. I really wanted to play with Puppy, too. We decided to play outside for a while and then play inside. So we got to have fun, and it was fair because we took turns playing where we wanted. That's great. You solved the problem, and you both had fun. Awesome job. I'm so glad that they were able to listen to our lesson and learn a good way and a fair way to play. But today we're going to talk about what to do when someone takes something away from you. I'm going to pull up my screen so you can see the picture. And we have our friends Caleb and Paolo. And Paolo was playing with the ball. Caleb really wanted to play with it too. So when Paolo dropped it, Caleb ran and picked it up without asking. Paolo is so angry, he can't think of what to do. Is Paolo feeling very angry? Yes, look at his face. Look at his fists. He is so angry. What does he need to do? If you remember back a few weeks ago, we talked about this. When you're feeling angry, you need to calm your body down. Why does he need to calm down? What might happen if he doesn't calm down? He could hurt Caleb's body, or he could hurt Caleb's feelings by saying mean words. And if he calms his body down, he's able to think more clearly. Together, let's all say how to calm down. We put our hands on our tummy. We say stop. And we name our feeling. He's feeling angry. And then we take deep belly breaths. Paolo calms down, and now he can think clearly to solve his problem. I'm going to pull out our problem-solving poster to remind you our first step of the problem-solving stairs. Our first step, S, is say the problem. Think about how to say what this problem is. What problem are Paolo and Caleb having? Caleb took the ball without asking, and Paolo wants the ball back. The problem is there's only one ball, and Paolo and Caleb both want it. Let's say that second step together. Our second step is think of solutions. Think of two things that Paolo could do. What could he do? Paolo's angry. Caleb took the ball. What could he do? Well, he could grab it back. He could take it back, couldn't he? He could walk away. He could suggest a fair way to play, suggest maybe taking turns. He could just ask for it back. Now let's do the next step on our stairs. The next step is the letter E, explore consequences. And a consequence is what could happen when you try the solution, what could happen? The consequences, what happens? When you do something, there's always a consequence. If you, let's pretend that we're Paolo. If Paolo was to grab that ball back, what's the consequence? What could happen? What would happen if you just took the ball back? That would probably make Caleb upset. It might cause a fight. We need to think, will this solution hurt somebody's body or feelings? Will it make the problem worse or will it make the problem better? So if Paolo grabs it back, we already said what could happen. We said it could cause a fight. It could make Caleb upset. So I think that if that was the solution, it would probably not be the best solution. He could probably think of something better to do. If Paulo suggests taking turns, what are the consequences of that? What might happen if if Paulo suggests taking turns? I think that would be a good consequence. A good solution, sorry. If he suggested taking turns and Caleb says, yeah, let's take turns. I'll play with it and then you play with it. And then, or it could even end up, they could play together and maybe make a new friend. If Paulo asks for it back in an assertive way, what would happen? What would happen if Paulo asks for the ball back in an assertive way? Caleb might give it back. Caleb might say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were done playing with that. He also might say no, right? And then we would have to think of a new solution. What is a fair way to play with the ball? Our fair ways to play: share, take turns, or trade. He could think about which idea to pick and try one of those ideas. What would you pick? If you were Paulo, what would you pick? Would you pick to ask to trade, share, or take turns? Paulo uses self-talk, and he thinks of some things to do. He picks talking assertively to Caleb and suggesting they play together and share the ball. Being assertive stops problems from getting worse. Raise your hand if you remember Puppy helping us learn to be assertive several weeks ago. It's using a tone of voice that's respectful, calm, and firm. You're standing up straight and you're looking the person in the eyes. This is what Paulo says. I didn't like it when you took the ball without asking. Let's share the ball and play together. Caleb says he really wanted to play with the ball and he was sorry for grabbing it. In the end, they both have more fun playing together. So we're going to do a little bit of practice with this. We're going to pretend that Snail took the ball from us. Here's Snail, and he took a ball from you. I want you to think of what you need to do first. What did Paulo need to do first? He was angry. If Snail took your ball, you'd probably feel angry. So first you need to calm your body down. So let's practice that. Put your hands on your tummy and say stop. Name your feeling. I feel angry. And take 3 belly breaths. Okay. And now, what are you going to say to Snail? Go ahead and tell Snail right now. What are you going to choose to do? Maybe it's the same thing Paulo did. Maybe you're going to use an assertive voice and ask for your ball back. Maybe you're going to suggest trading or sharing. This is what I would do. Snail, I didn't like it when you took that ball. Please give it back. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were playing with it. All right, so you learned that people can get angry when someone takes something from you. It is okay to take something from some. Is it okay to take something from someone without asking? No. When you're very angry, it is hard to think and solve a problem. What do you need to do first? Calm your body down. You can tell someone in an assertive way what you think and what you want. Solving problems with words and being assertive helps everyone get along. So I want you to practice that at home this week. If somebody takes something from you, think first, I need to calm my body down. And then what can I do to use my words and let that person know that I'm upset? All right, I'm going to end today's lesson with a story. It is called It's Mine. It's by Leo Leone. It's mine. In the middle of Rainbow Pond, there was a small island. Smooth pebbles lined its beaches, and it was covered with ferns and leafy weeds. On the island lived 3 quarrelsome frogs named Milton, Rupert, and Lydia. They quarreled and quibbled from dusk till dawn. Kind of means they're fighting. Stay out of the pond, yelled Milton. The water is mine. Get off the island, shouted Rupert. The earth is mine. The air is mine, screamed Lydia as she leapt to catch a butterfly. And so it went. One day a large toad appeared before them. I live on the other side of the island, he said, but I can hear you shouting, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, all day long. There is no peace because of your endless bickering. You can't go on like this. With that, the toad slowly turned around and hopped away through the weeds. No sooner had he left than Milton ran off with a large worm. The others hopped after him. Worms are for everybody, they cried, but Milton croaked defiantly, not this one, it's mine. Suddenly the sky darkened and a rumble of distant thunder circled the island. Rain filled the air and the water turned to mud. The island grew smaller and smaller as it was swallowed up by the rising flood. The frogs were scared. Desperately, they clung to a few slippery stones that still rose above the wild, dark water, but soon these too began to disappear. There was only one rock left, and there the frogs huddled, trembling from the cold and fright. But they felt better now that they were together, sharing the same fears and hopes. Little by little, the flood subsided. The rain fell gently and then stopped altogether. So right now they're sharing a rock. But look, the large rock that had saved them was no rock at all. You saved us, shouted the frogs when they recognized the toad. Look at the toad. It was not a rock, it was a toad. The next morning the water had cleared. Sun rays chased silver minnows on the sandy bottom of the pond. Joyfully the frogs jumped in, and side by side they swam all around the island. Now they're getting along and they're sharing, aren't they? Together they leapt after the swarms of butterflies that filled the air. And later, when they rested in the weeds, they felt happy in a way they had never been before. Isn't it peaceful? Said Milton. And isn't it beautiful? Said Rupert. And do you know what else? Said Lydia. No, what? Said the others. It's ours, she said. So they're no longer saying it's mine. They're saying it's ours. They're going to share. I hope you have a great week. I will see you all for SEL next week. Bye, everyone.